alone in my room, time after time. All I've got left is my will to survive, but I've got the fire burning inside, and I've waited so long for this moment in time. I'm gonna change, you wait and see. I'm gonna be the best I can be. I'll be much better than everybody, 'cause this time it's all about me. You can dream when you sleep, you can sleep when you're dead. The bitch is hungry and she needs to be fed. I'm not gonna have sand kicked in my face anymore till the day that I die. Show me the way, show me a sign, show me that this time it's my turn to shine. I'm gonna be so much better than you, 'cause this time it's all about me.
About me, it's all about me. Not you, it's all about me. Fuck you, 'cause it's all about me.
Early to bed, early to rise. Could I have a salad instead of the fries? The odds are against me, but what the hell? I'm gonna start standing up for myself. I'm gonna change, you wait and see. I'm gonna be the best I can be. I'll be much better than everybody, 'cause this time it's all about me.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Check. Testing. Testing the mic. 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Check. Checking the mic. Testing and checking the mic. Help. Help. Testing.
Okay. Okay.
Hello? Testing. Do you hear me? Check. Hey everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen,
Okay.
where today we're going to be making Henry's easy peasy cheesy stuffed mushroom crabs. First I have a couple of thank yous I'd like to shout out here. What do we got? Persetin has resubscribed along with Quincy99999 resubscribed, and Rellington4 along with Steven 909. So thank you everybody. Thanks for joining me. A couple of announcements. Number one, I'm still sick. I don't know what's going on. It's the third time this year I've been sick, and it's been like 10 days or something. So I might just be kind of a sickly person. But I'm hoping I feel better before Christmas, because the holiday times are very, depressing for a lot of people. But to me, they're a little bit more exciting than just regular times. So I'm hoping I don't stay sick throughout the whole month of December. But maybe it's going away a little bit. I took a cough drop. And I am growing a beard. It's not your imagination. I am trying to get a beard. It's not a statement that I'm trying to make. It doesn't mean I belong to any organization of any sort. It's just simply a fashion choice that I'm trying to change up. Sometimes you have to change things and, give this whole life thing a new shot, and I'm doing that with a beard. Thanks, Dr. Blasty Stick, for resubscribing. But I don't want anybody to feel threatened or uncomfortable by the beard. There's a lot of people in history that have had beards, some good, some bad. But it's not any kind of affiliation that I have with anything. So let's see here. Also, very excited. This is some positive news. I got recognized. I guess the show's getting a little bit more popular, and I was at a place called the Taco King. The Taco King is a restaurant in my neighborhood, and there's also another Taco King in the next town over. And some guy who was standing in line said, "Hey." He came up and said, "Don't you usually go to the other Taco King?" And I was like, "Yeah, but this time I'm going to this Taco King." And so I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see here. I want to be able to read if you have any questions or not. Beelzebub says, "Time to start wearing the Onyo helm when you go out." Yeah, they recognize me with that. I have the Onyo helm now. It's great. A lot of times when you're cutting onions, you'll notice that it stimulates something called the lacrimose quality in your eyes, basically the tear ducts. So I used to wear goggles, but that wasn't working, and so now I've got it all set with the. I guess it's being called the Onyo helm. It's basically a welding helmet, but I actually do have to cut onions for this recipe, and we need to preheat our ovens. I'm glad I remembered. We're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees right now. I'm glad I remembered. And we're going to take whatever shit we have in the oven, we're going to take out. And probably use the bottom rack for this one.
Okay.
Demigod Ray just resubscribed. Thanks, Demigod Ray, along with Sean Xer, gifted a tier 1 sub to Debbie Webby 86. Very cool. So we're going to get through it, I thought maybe a fun way to open the show today, since it is This is, I think, the first stream of Christmas, of December. So, why don't I do a classic Christmas song? This was written by Catherine, donated $5. Thanks, Catherine. We're going to try to do something nice with that $5. There are a couple of things that we're needing here at Henry's Kitchen, so I'm going to, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Everyone type Forson says, my wife just found out I replaced our bed with a trampoline. She hit the ceiling. Oh, it sounds like she was pretty upset about that swap out that you did. I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone type Forson. I hope that you guys are able to work that out, because it sounds like you did something without her permission, and that's never a great idea. So maybe you could apologize. Duped Silicon says, did you hear about the crab that went to the gym? He pulled a muscle. I didn't hear about that, but I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay.
Wow, that's there was a long name there. Midgley Denver Samlong gifted a tier 1 sub to Breadworms with a message. They have given 2 gift subs in the channel. Well, thank you very much, Midgley Servamlong. And thank you for gifting that sub. And Borsenvin donated $5. Thanks, Borsenvin. When I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna take a look at that your donations and try to think of something fun that we can do. Because of your donations, we've really turned Henry's Kitchen into quite the technical megaspace here. Technological. I don't even know what a megaspace is, but Kairosa says the painting is upside down again. Oh. Talking about this. Yeah, sorry about that. This is a painting I got. It's mostly used to cover up dirty dishes. But I know I'm not a big fan of modern art, and I got this at the Goodwill because I thought it'd be a nice background. But I can't tell whether it's upside down or not. Mr. Dinky's Vibrator just resubscribed for 4 months. Thanks, Mr. Dinky's Vibrator. Catherine Danielle, can you give a quick birthday shout out to my friend Knox? N-O-X. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Catherine Danielle. Knox, we at Henry's Kitchen are very aware of how difficult birthdays can be. And they're never... They're always sort of, they start out fun, but then eventually you realize you're by yourself listening to sad music and looking at pictures of old girlfriends or something. I don't know. Hopefully your birthday is more fun than that, but that's the way my last one was. And so we want to let you know that it's okay. Everybody goes through it, and we hope that you get through this birthday the best that you can, Knox. And Catherine Danielle, maybe, I don't know if you guys are going to be eating together, but don't forget no sharp objects in the kitchen when you're cooking for each other, because there's no food that's so delicious that it's worth cutting yourself for, except maybe some types of cake. Sorry for my juicer, XQCL has resubscribed. Thanks. Sorry for my juicer, XQCL. Hilbert Hotel says, are you Canadian or do you just like flannel shirts? I just like flannel shirts. And I guess that is a thing. Now that I think about it, some of my favorite Canadians like Bob and Doug McKenzie were big flannel shirt people. I like them. I think they're very practical. Borsenvin says most donations include a message you can read. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to go back. Thank you for that tip, Borsonvin. And also thanks, Mega Gildy, resubscribed. Let's go back to Borsonvin here. Borsonvin tipped $5 and said, ambition is the enemy of success. Please, Henry, give me your wisdom. Ambition is the enemy of success. I like that. That means that if you aspire to do something, you will fail. And it's definitely true in my life. I think it's probably true in a lot of people's lives. Catherine tipped $5 and said, can you give a birthday shout out to my friend Knox? Okay. Knox, happy birthday. And I believe we already kind of went over that, because thanks for clarifying that in a question also, because I didn't miss it. But Knox, we're pulling for you. Birthdays are very difficult because you're 1 year older and therefore 1 year closer to the inevitable. And it's difficult. But anyway, I don't want to go too depressing here. We've got Christmas time, and I'm going to do a Christmas song for you. Have a little sip of my French roast coffee. I want to get to the recipe too before too long, because it involves some minced crab, and I don't know how long you can leave that sitting on the counter. I had it sitting overnight to get to room temperature, and it's starting to smell a little bit. So let's see here. What the Duck says, I haven't been well lately, but I'm looking forward to Christmas. The one thing I'd like to see is all my favorite performers. Myself, Jose Suicidio, and the Highwayman stream at the same time. That's a tall order. Those are difficult people to get, especially during the holidays. Hilbert Hotel says, do you supplement with anything, Henry? Yeah, I take vitamin D every morning, because somebody told me that if you take vitamin D every morning, you won't get sick. But I will say that person was full of shit, because I've been sick now 3 times, and I'm starting to wonder if the vitamin D is what's making me sick. So be careful with the information that you get out there. All right, let's go ahead and do this. This is a song, goes all the way back to the 1900s. Somewhere in the maybe 50s, mid-century, maybe mid to late century, 60s. I don't know when this song was written, but it was written by Mel Torme and sung by his friend Nat King Cole. And it's a beautiful song. It's called The Christmas Song. Some people know it as Chestnuts Roasting. And I'm going to say, even though I have a bigger monitor thanks to your donations, it's still very difficult for me to read the lyrics. I think because I'm sick, a lot of what happens is your body is so busy trying to fight the virus in your head and in your body that it says, okay, we don't need vision for now. And so it takes some of the energy that you normally use for vision. So I can't really read this very well, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Also, you can hear me okay, right? Hello. Help. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, that's... Sorry. I want this to sound good. Nim just rated with 813 viewers. Thanks, Nim. Just tuning my guitar here if you're just joining. I'm going to take the opportunity to say that a little more than a year ago, Nim had me on his popular stream to teach him how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it literally changed my life. The peanut butter and jelly sandwich came out okay, but Nim talked me through and talked me into starting my own Twitch channel, where I teach Henry's Kitchen live, and here we are. That was a year ago, and now we're coming up on the end of a year, and it's been incredible. I have friends. I mean, not real friends, but I have friends that ask questions and that I can answer to and stuff, and I'm feeling very fulfilled. So thanks, Nim, and thanks for rating the channel. And we're just you're just joining me in time to do a little Christmas song here. Xana Bilek has just resubscribed. Thanks, Xana Bilek. This is a little jazz song, but I can't read the lyrics very well. They're very small, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Most people know it anyway. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping on your nose. Tiny tots being sung by the fire, and folks dressed up like dominoes. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aflame will find it hard to sleep last night. They know that Santa's on his sleigh, and he's got lots of little boys and girls to play. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeers really knows what to do. And so I'm offering this special phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Tiny tots all alone by the fire. Merry Christmas to you. Something like that. So there you go. Merry Christmas. We're in the first month of December, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, there's probably different versions of that song where you can insert whatever holiday that you like, or if you don't celebrate anything, which I usually sort of go back and forth on. It's just a nice song to sing for the neighbors or whatever. The Heroics just resubscribed. The Heroic Z just resubscribed for 2 months. Thanks, the Heroic Z. All right. Let's start making mushroom crabs, you guys. Start by taking a look at some of our ingredients here. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, and by the way, this recipe comes to me from a user, not a drug user, or maybe a drug user, I don't know, but it's a user from my Patreon named L-Dog. Gave me this idea for the recipe. It's stuffed crab mushrooms. Game Master Flash just gifted 5 subs. Thanks, Game Master Flash. And Hobby 8 just cheered 275 bits. Happy holidays, Henry. Happy holidays right back at you, Hobby 8. So, the star of our show obviously is going to be our crab. This has been, I've had it in my fridge for a while, but the expiration date says June 23rd, 2024, which doesn't sound right to me. The only thing you want to make sure is sometimes they tell you only 7 days after you open it, but I don't see that here. keep refrigerated, which I did. So I don't know, somehow or another, this crab is lasting for several years. I've got some fine cheddar cheese, but you can use a white cheese if you want, or a Swiss. Any type of cheese will do. Just need to make sure it's cheesy. Some rosemary pricks, which will be our spices. I've got our salt and pepper for seasoning. I'm also going to be using allspice. For a long time, I was using all these different spices like cumin and stoked paprika and nutmeg and all this stuff, but I found that there's one called allspice, which includes all the spices. So you can save a lot of time and money by just using a little bit of allspice, and that way you're covered no matter what the recipe calls for. I also have here some butter. I've got breadcrumbs. I've got one white onion, and I've got I have 2 garlics, and I've got salt and pepper to taste, which means enough so you can taste it. And then I've got our breadcrumbs. So, okay, there you go. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take all this shit out of the way. Grab this, and we are gonna start cutting into our onion. Let's grab a knife. Okay. Very important. So, as I mentioned last time, I have some onion goggles which are not doing the trick, and it might look a little silly, and forgive me if it's over the top, but I will say this does work. I have it's actually a welder's helmet, and if you put this on, you will not have any tear duct stimulation while you're cutting your onions. So that's good. Let's go ahead and start cutting. Just want to pick any spot, maybe right in the middle. And a lot of people ask me, well, why don't you peel it first? And there's a very easy reason for that, and that's because when you cut it, it starts to sort of unpeel by itself. So you're saving yourself trouble. We're not going to use all of this. All right. You know, a friend of mine was telling me that their kid is going into college and wants to work for the National Institute of Health, which is a science-based thing. And I said, I'm not impressed. I said, unless your kid is going to culinary school or doing something cooking related, I'm not going to act like I'm impressed with whatever your kid's doing, because if you can't cook, you can't eat. So you have to get the basics first. But my friend didn't like the response that I gave, and now we're kind of not really talking. It wasn't really a friend, it was one of the neighbors. And I actually wasn't in the conversation, I just kind of jumped in there, which might have been part of the problem. Okay. Boy, I really hope I get over whatever this cold is that I have. It's not COVID. I took the COVID test. So, there's some good news. But whatever this thing is, it's very persistent. Okay. I think that's probably going to do it for the onions. Let's go ahead and, before I take off the mask, I want to make sure that this onion is bagged up. somehow. Because I don't want to take off the helmet and then all of a sudden I'm getting the onion stuff in my face. So it'd be deferting the whole purpose of trying to, defeating the purpose of putting on the welding helmet. Okay. But I can save this for later, or if you don't want to waste it, you can use it to water your plants. Want to thank Atricky for subscribing. Thanks, Atricky. There we go. Put this away. Wash my hands. And remove the helmet. This is very tight. There's a tightening mechanism in the back. There we go. Whew. Okay. So we have our onions. Next order of business, we're gonna, using a damp paper towel, we're gonna brush all the dirt from the mushrooms and remove the mushroom stems, cut away. Okay. Let's put our onions on top of another plate for now. And let's start working with mushrooms. Here are our mushrooms. We might not be using all of these. It says it wants 20 of them. I didn't really count these, but that looks about it. Using a damp paper towel. Quantathon just gifted 10 subs. Thanks, Quantathon. I'm going to dampen this paper towel. I'm not going to do, for demonstration purposes, I'm not sure that this would be a very entertaining stream if you just were watching a guy wipe down mushrooms with a damp paper towel for God knows how much time. But it is something you should do. You can see there's a lot of dirt coming off. So I'm actually kind of surprised by that. But I figure when you put it in the oven and cook it, it's not going to live very long anyway, whatever kind of bacteria or fungus that's on your mushroom. I guess mushroom is a fungus, so whatever. I'm sorry, I think I actually do have to do this. So I'm going to try to do it as quick as possible, because that's not exactly what you would call engaging entertainment, you know, watching a guy do this. So I've only got 5 more here. I bought these mushrooms at the farmer's market. The farmer's market, of course, is a little bit like what I've heard going to jail is like, where you just have to go over there and immediately display your dominance by just either kicking somebody's ass or, you know, looking at people in a menacing way so that they don't think that you're weak, because they will try to rip you off. Okay, so we have these, and the next thing it wants us to remove the stems. So I'm going to grab a separate plate here for our removed ones. The stems you can put, maybe we'll put this in a work bowl. There we go. These stems are coming out, whoops, other way. These stems are coming out pretty easily, but unfortunately they're breaking also, so that kind of sucks. By the way, if you want to see what we're going to end up with at the end of the day here, this is our stuffed mushrooms. So now I always like to say, now this is a perfect one. As a matter of fact, this one's so good, I think I'm going to dump those and just try to start a new bar for myself and Some of them are breaking up easier than others. But there we go. And if you're doing this at home and it's not going well and you're feeling stupid or whatever, just remember, I've been doing this a very, very long time. Beelzeby just gifted a tier 1 sub to Lissard. These just came apart. That sucks. And Quantathon gifted 10 tier 1 subs. That's awesome. These are all terms, of course, that I would have not known what they meant. Like a year and a half ago, if you had come up to me and said, hey, Quantathon just gifted a sub to Crush My Cock or whoever, I'd be like, who are you and what the hell are you talking about? But now that makes total sense. Okay.
Oh, hi.
Caffey just gifted 1 sub. Thanks, Caffey. There we go. That wasn't that hard. So now we have these. I'm just going to simply throw these stems away. And let's see what's next here. I have a little bit of a foggy brain situation happening, which I'm hoping is a result of the virus that I have. But hopefully not a sign of something more serious. Oh, I almost forgot. We like to check in on my cat, Roast Beef, every now and then. He's currently asleep, but when he gets up to get food, which he will, hopefully he will, we'll check in on him. I think he's been in the closet and there's no light in there, so it doesn't do me any good. Pi1415925 says, Crush My Cock was always a loyal subscriber to this channel. Yeah. I hope they're still around. I don't know if it's a male or a female or they, but Crush My Cock, probably, I don't know. But I definitely hope I didn't say anything to offend them. Falcon says, come out, Roast Beef. Yeah, we're going to get him out here. It's pointless. How do we know he's not being cloned right at this moment? Could be. I will say that we've been playing the game Stray, and we're just about to finish the game, but I'm not going to finish it until I receive this particular item in the mail, which I think is coming in the next couple of days. Okay. That is a surprise. Hoagie-Wan Jabroni has just subscribed. Thanks, Hoagie-Wan Jabroni. All right, add mushroom caps to a rimmed baking sheet or a sizable oven-safe skillet that fits the mushrooms in one layer. So why don't we use this? Wow, it's hot even just from being on top of the oven. I've got some tin foil here, aluminum foil, sorry. I forget that tin foil is not considered appropriate anymore. It's hard to keep up with some of the terms. But tin foil is problematic, I guess. So here we go. There's our aluminum foil lined cookie sheet, and what we're going to be doing is add the mushroom caps. Uh-oh. It says finely mince the stems, but I just threw away the stems. So apparently I was supposed to do something with those stems. Not a problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of those stems that we just had, and I'm going to not the stems. I'm going to take some of our actual mushrooms, maybe the ones that don't look as attractive, and I'm going to go ahead and mince them. We were supposed to save that. I'll take the partial ones for sure. That's kind of a drag. Make sure you read the direction that comes after whatever step that you're on before you throw anything away. Oh, this one still has the stem in it, so that's good. So we're just going to go ahead and mince these. Mincing is a lot like dicing, which is a lot like slicing. I'm not really sure the difference, but you can always find it if you go to the internet. These are cutting very nicely. I don't use sharp objects in the kitchen, as I suggest that you shouldn't. Sometimes you have to. But this is great. I can cut myself, I can hit myself with it. It's not going to cause any damage. I see a lot of cooks or chefs or whatever early in their career that show up to dinner or something like that, and they've got Band-Aids all over the place and burn marks and everything. And this is because the kitchen is a very, very dangerous place. Can you hear me, by the way? We had an incident a couple of streams ago where I didn't have audio, and it was really my worst nightmare. Help! I checked that word. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it includes the softest sound in the English language, the H sound, and also the P sound, which is the plosive, which is the hardest one. So if you can hear me if I say help, that means that the microphone is working. Got a couple of questions here. Archmage Kale says, I noticed your title says cooking and shit. I see the shit, but what is the cooking? When does the cooking start? Okay, I didn't know that that was the title of it, but yeah, cooking and shit is just a term. Let's see. Ryan B says, I'm actually a chef at a French cafe, but it's super hard to make money with inflation, food prices, and all that shit right now. But I do come to Hen Lips One for cooking tips and entertainment at any chance I get. That's really cool. I feel like a dick for not being able to sub, but will when I can. No, yeah, don't ever feel pressured to anything like that, as long as you're following. And I know that there's probably things that you know from working in a French cafe, but there might be things that I know that you don't know, and we can share our information. Solar Parade has resubscribed with a message, help, help, help. Okay. As well as Dangus 2, just resubscribed. Okay. Radmite says, what happened to your finger? Looks like you were using a sharp objects in the kitchen. Yeah, I always have a little bit of cuts on there. Kid Kicking Robot just gifted a tier 1 sub to Ryan B. Oh, that's very nice. That's very cool. Thanks, Kid Kicking Robot. And Rathor 178 resubscribed along with Nick GG. That's very cool, you guys. Moonzu says, why are all new knives so sharp and dangerous? You should launch your own product line of dull knives. That's a great idea. And if there is a product line out there that specializes in dull knives, I'll do a shout out for you guys, and maybe you could sponsor the show. That's something. Okay. So, big fan of Jeff Goldblum says, what temperature am I meant to preheat my welding machine to for this recipe? I also am not very good with welding straight lines. Is that going to be a problem? No, you're not welding in this situation. You're just preheating your oven to 375. Rogue Cat has resubscribed. Thanks, Rogue Cat. Okay, let's get back to business. We have minced and diced our mushrooms to a very fine place. Let's focus that a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to put those into a work bowl. I assume that's what they want us to do. Also, thanks Steve1969 CBT Info, as well as Regularly Consume Water, has resubscribed. Hello, Henry. I'm very glad to support you, but I have a question of today's recipe. If I can't find any crab, is lobster an appropriate substitute? Absolutely. Lobster and crab are basically the same thing. perhaps another crustacean would work. Any kind of crustacean that you have will work fine. And I want to see if you have a picture of your food, send it to me on the Henry's Kitchen Discord, and we'll do that. Okay, so moving right along here, we've got our mushrooms stems minced. We've got our mushroom cups hollowed out. We are going to add these to a rimmed baking sheet, sizable oven-safe skillet that fits the mushrooms in one layer. So let's do so. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here so we can see a little more. Just going to put all of our mushroom cups out like so. They can be in any order that you want, but they just have to be in one particular layer, or one singular layer. Arrange them cavity side up, so cavity is a hole, so that's what they mean there. So they are ready to be stuffed. Melt butter in a skillet over medium heat. They didn't tell me they were going to do that. Add the onions, chopped mushroom stalks, and pinch of salt. Cook occasionally, stirring until the onions, sweet smell, are soft, about 5 minutes. Damn it. Okay, so normally I have an overhead on the skillet. I didn't know we were working with the skillet today, but hopefully you'll be able to see what's happening here. We're putting some butter into there. I'm going to take, what did it say? 1 tablespoon's butter. So I'm just going to use this one, and I just want to make sure you see this so you know I'm not cheating. I'm going to take our butter, which has some breadcrumbs on it from previous dishes, but I'm just going to take 1 tablespoon, and we're going to put that in our skillet. Let it swish. They do this to me every time. I'm in the middle of cooking, and all of a sudden I got a skillet going. I just need somebody to tell me what the thing is after so that I'm prepared. Okay, so melt butter in a skillet over medium heat. Add the onions, chopped mushroom stalks, that's our minced stuff, pinch of salt, cook occasionally, stirring until the onions smell sweet and are soft, about 5 minutes. So we're going to take our 2 items here. I've got our onions. I'm sorry, I keep calling them onions. They're onions. And then the mushrooms. It says it wants a pinch of salt. I can do better than that. I've got a grinder, so I can put much more salt than they were even asking for. And next we've got, Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Okay, Alexa, volume 8. Okay, so we don't have a timer yet. We're going to cook this until the onions smell sweet and soft, about 5 minutes. All right. Let's cook that a little bit. We got 5 minutes, guys. We have another song request that came through on the Discord. Why don't we go ahead and do it? It should be less than 5 minutes. Song was requested to us by someone on the Discord named Plib, P-L-I-B-B. And it's an oldie but a goodie. I'm going to try to sing it. It's much higher for me, but it's it's hard to do while I'm sick here, but I'm going to do the best that I can. But it's a song from the 70s by B.J. Thomas called Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Oh wait, I got to find the chords here. Raindrops keep falling on my head, just like the guy whose feet are too big for his head. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they sent to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops are falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. That's a very nice, positive song. That's not true in my case. There's a lot of things that are worrying me. One of them is this particular dish that we're making, and also the fact that I've been sick 3 times this year. Pilskman just resubscribed for 5 months. Thanks, Pilskman. Good to have you here. Let me put this away. So the onions are definitely starting to give off an aroma. Oh, I might have the heat a little too high because they're black. Oh, I think that's the mushrooms. Okay. Anyway, it smells good. Panda Perquito has resubscribed. Thanks, Panda Perquito. Let's see what's happening here now. I'm going to say these are ready. Add the garlic and the herbs. That's the rosemary pricks. Okay. Cook for another minute until the garlic is fragrant. Silver Surfer 745 just subscribed. Let's get into our garlic here. Garlic is tricky, but it's a sort of a lesson in and of itself. So when you don't have a lot of time, this is going to be the hardest working appliance in your whole fucking kitchen. It's called a garlic press. This particular one is a pure stainless steel. It's the Cuisinart 2000 model. It's a badass. And what you want to do is you want to take your garlic clove or bulb or whatever, and you want to insert it into this compartment, and then you're going to flip it, and you're just literally going to squeeze. And that's going to be your garlic. You know, that you've got. Wait, what happened to it? It kind of went all over everywhere there. I'm going to do another one. You can't have too much garlic. I'm going to try to aim it a little more. There we go. So it wants us to add this to our dish. Which we are doing. I just had a bunch of raw garlic. That might not have been a good idea. All right. Mix that up. Along with, we've got the garlic, we've got, oh, and our rosemary pricks. So we're just going to take some of these. Rosemary comes on a stalk, and then you have these little things called pricks that they're basically like leaves, but they prick you. So I'm going to show you a technique that I use. Watch this. You grab it like this, and then you just go, well, it's supposed to just sort of come off. These might be kind of old. Let me try it again. Try it with this. I know this works. There we go. See how they just come right off like that? This is a little trick that my grandmother said she learned when she was in the joint. Okay? So there you go. And then we're going to take these and put them in our pot, or whatever that is. Skillet, I'm sorry. So far, so good. Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
I keep forgetting to put the timer on. Well, it's too late now. I think we're done. So that's our herbs. Scrape into a bowl and set it aside to cool. I have a bowl right here. Wow, that rosemary smells a little bit like a Christmas tree, which is nice. There's our filling. I'm going to put this let's see what's next here. Scrape. Okay, add the breadcrumbs before washing the skillet, which I already did. Add the breadcrumbs to the skillet. Place it over medium-low heat, then cook till they're lightly toasted. We're going to skip that. Stir the cheese into the onion garlic mixture. Then we're going to divide the filling between the mushroom caps. Okay, so let's get into this. We need a cheese grater, which I have. And we're just going to take our cheese and we're literally just going to... Oh, whoops, that's our butter. Yabby just rated with 117 viewers. Thanks, Yabby, and welcome. If you're just joining us, we're making stuffed crab, easy cheesy mushrooms. I'm going to cut this part off because this cheese is very old and the outsides sometimes don't... They're hard, so we don't want that in our dish. But let's go ahead and grate our cheese mixture into it. And you know, you don't have to be perfect because we're going to be melting this anyway. But it's just going to make it easier to blend. This cheese is very soft, which I guess is good. This one didn't really grate. If you're just joining us, I'm a little under the weather for the last several weeks. All right. And finally, we're going to grab our crab. And I am a little bit worried about this. I'm just going to try some right now to make sure it's good. Does anybody know if, like, I can't tell if it tastes good or not because I don't really eat crab. It doesn't taste that good. But I don't see anything on here that says that you can't eat it after a long time. And I have had this here a long time. I think we're going to go for it. So we're going to cook it anyway. So if there's any bacteria or anything, that's going to get, that'll be taken out. So let's start putting our canned crab into this. I'm just going to use all of it. Grab something to stir it with. Alright, so this is going to be our stuffing. And let's see what is left here. Oh, our breadcrumbs for sure. I'm going to just do these by... I've been cooking a very long time, but technically it says that it wants 3 tablespoons. But if you've been cooking as long as I have, you just start to know kind of how much you're supposed to put in there. In this case, you just want to put in enough so that it starts looking kind of bready. You can hear me okay? Help! 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 Okay. Check in and see if you guys have any questions. Kid kicking robot, even if it's bad crab, once you cook it, it should be better. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bruce Lee, my friend Shirley is a professional crab chef, and she says it looks fine. That's excellent to hear. Falcon says, can I substitute rosemary pricks with pine needles to make the dish more Christmassy? I think so. I think pine needles and rosemary pricks are very similar. Demerkin says, do you like spicy food? I don't, actually. Depending on what the spice is. I'm using allspice today, so it does have all the spices, so I'm sure there's some hot ones in there too. Hacklin says, eating moldy food is actually good for you because it trains your immune system. Yeah, I'm not a scientist, but I think that that does make sense to me, that the more you assault your immune system with toxic or poisonous things, it's the old whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So you just have to hope that it doesn't kill you, I guess. Erotica Reading Rabbi says, fuck big spice, allspice forever. Yeah. I wish there was an all herbs also. They don't have all herbs, but instead because of big herb or whatever, you have to buy all the individual herbs, which is going to cost you a lot more money and it's going to take a lot more time. But you know, it's all wrapped up. They've got this whole system that works for them, and there's no way that a little guy like myself could try to fight that system. There's too much money involved. It's Kate X. I swear these recipes always try to catch you out, Henry. Maybe they're working together with Big Spice. Yeah, sometimes I really do feel like the world is against me, and most of the time I think I'm right. Archmage Kale says, my wife's boyfriend and my wife love your streams a lot. In fact, in fact, my wife's boyfriend gave me extra allowance this month. Thanks, Henry. All right, well, that's cool, Archmage Kale. Very happy to hear that. Travis Dropper says, I'm signing up for traffic school right now because I got a ticket. And I'm seeing these comedy traffic schools. Have you heard of this kind of thing? I have. I imagine what happens is that you learn comedy versions of traffic laws. You know, like a typical traffic law would be when you get to a four-way stop sign, the person on the right is the one who goes. But maybe if you go to a comedy traffic school, they'll say it's the person on the left, just to be funny. But that doesn't seem like a good idea, because then you're going to wind up thinking the opposite of everything and be a bad driver. Saw Hunter says, there are copper wires in your skin. Rip them out. Okay. All right. Well, maybe it's a good time for us to go into our next order of business here. We've got our breadcrumbs, stirred in the cheese, the crab, the garlic mixture. We're going to divide the filling into the mushroom caps, and we're going to sprinkle with some more breadcrumbs. So let's go ahead and do that here. These are our mushroom caps with the cavity sides up. Cavity is a fancy word for hole. So what I'm going to do now is I'm literally just going to take some of our stuffing with the crab and the cheese and such, and I'm going to put it into our shroom. Mushrooms are all different sizes, so I'm going to be grabbing different amounts for each one of these. But I'd say, other than the smell, this is actually turning out pretty good. And don't be too greedy with the mixture and how much of it that you want in your mushrooms, because the mixture really is the part that holds the nutrients. That's what's got the cheese and the butter and the oils. The mushroom is just a fungus that you'll probably think is nasty anyway. But I'm not doing the neatest job here. Maybe one way that we could make it a little more neat is if you pack it with your fingers a little bit, so that you have something like this, and then you take your mushroom. Now this is obviously too small for that to fit into, but we could probably, by packing it, make it a little bit more compact. Okay, there we go. We're going to look at the next instruction, but I have a feeling it's probably just going to be put this in the oven. Bake the mushrooms until the cheese has melted and the mushroom has softened, about 15 to 20 minutes. Alexa, set timer. Whoa. Alexa, cancel.
Is that 12 noon
Okay, Alexa, volume 10. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 1:07 p.m.
That's too loud. Alexa, volume 8. Okay, if you ever are reading instructions for a recipe and it says something like cook for 15 to 20 minutes, or a lot of pastas will say cook from 9 to 11 minutes, they want you to come up with the number in the middle. 9 to 11 minutes would be 10 minutes. 15 to 20 is a little difficult. Alexa, what's the average between 15 and 20?
The average of 15 and 20 is 17.5.
Okay, so they mean 17.5 minutes. Why they do this, I have no idea. My guess is that they don't want just any amateur going in the kitchen and doing a really good job. So they try to have little code words that they use to make it difficult for regular people. And I'm not in favor of that. That's why I became a cooking explainer, is because I want people to know. But we're going to put it in for 17.5 minutes. So Alexa, set timer for 17.5 minutes. a lot of people I noticed on the Discord were disappointed that they weren't able to hear the song that I said was my favorite song. It's Dave Grusin, Mountain Dance, but it is available. Alexa, play Dave Grusin, Mountain Dance.
Mountain Dance by Dave Grusin, Mark O'Connor, the Henry Mancini Institute Orchestra, Shelton Berg, Terence Blanchard, Adam Diderich, Abigail Young, Michelle Godby, Zachary Piper, Karina Gallagher,
There's a lot of people that wrote the
James
song.
Reynolds, Michael Newell, Thomas Kotik, Jay Varma, Rebecca Musloff, Karen Lord Powell, Stefan Zeichner, Patricia Jankova, James
I guess
Schroeder,
they're listing a lot of the
Colin
orchestra, some of the
Spencer
players.
Berlin, Michelle Lacker, Elle Jacobs, Haley Zeichner, Susan Smitty, Robin Savitsky, Emily Jones.
The song itself is not very long, but
Lauren Miller,
I guess a lot of
Catherine
people
Severin,
worked on it.
Amanda Diaz, Sean McGill, Cecilia Herda, Joy Adams, Sarah Gongaware, Chia Lee.
I think our mushrooms are going to be ready by the time she's done.
Vienna Sa, Kyle Laney, Richard Sun, Andrew Kromholz, Jeffrey Kipperman, Rachel Hershey, Yenling Lin, Ben T. Barrio,
You know what?
Rotana, Neil Carson, Kevin McEwen, Mark Small, Alex White.
I think it should be
David
done real
Young,
soon.
Chris Gagne, Javier Nero, Stephen Sabati, Brian Powell, Ryan Chapman.
It
Chris
takes a
Burbank,
lot of people
Gilbert
to write
Falls, Jared Hall,
a really
Allison
good
Hubble,
song.
Ernesto Fernandez, Nikki Langhorn, James Drayton, Rachel Luke, Peter Bianca, Ronnie Toka, Isabel Thompson, Ian Forgy, Derek Smith.
But generally speaking, I like that nowadays we can just
Spinola, John Anderson,
call out
John
any
Carlucci,
song and have it
Manny
play
Tarantelli, Connor Haley,
at our
Colin
fingertips.
Mason, Pedro Fernandez, Mark Koo, Mike Van Wert, Rafael de Lima, Tyler Dennis, Andrew Hamilton, and BJ Camploop from Apple Music.
Oh, Alexa, stop. That's not even the song that I was thinking of. Game Master Flash says, this is a jam? Yeah, well, I guess it was a jam of sorts. But anyway, somebody on the Discord put the song that I like, so you can check that out. Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Okay, Alexa, set timer for 17.5 minutes.
17 minutes and 30 seconds, starting now.
Sorry, I've got a little bit of foggy brain as a result of the virus. Okay. Before we do much further, I want to do a thank you. I mentioned Nim earlier because Nim is the one who's responsible for me being on Twitch. But in addition to Nim, there's been a lot of people that have helped out, especially in the first couple of streams, people that have come forward and offered to be moderators, to set up the Discord, to make emotes, to offer technical advice, and also some popular streamers who have shown the Henry's Kitchen videos to help spread the word. And I think gratitude is very important in the kitchen, and I used to thank people individually, but now I figured that was getting a little boring, so I'm going to do it in a song. This is a song that was requested by Roger Miller called King of the Road, but I'm going to sing the lyrics to thank people to the tune of King of the Road. Fucking and Dingo Bop, Dong Beef and Hot Bear 1110, Do Dingo Dog Oggy, Dr. Flanges and Bacchus, and also Shane, yes, Beelzebub, Daisy Blossom and Sir Doom, Bumble Vision and the LGX, Hostman Melon 95. Let's try a key change. Nim Forsen and Moon Moon, XQC and Emeroo, Espond and Bonnie Rabbit too, and don't forget Quanto. So there you have it. That's the people who I like to thank. I also want to thank Brian W. Foster, who has sent a lot of people my way, and my friend Bill Larkin Music, which is a great channel. If you like the music portion of the Henry's Kitchen stream, you might like Bill Larkin Music, as well as my old friend who just got on Twitch. His name is Gary Stockdale, and it's literally just twitch.tv/Gary Stockdale, GaryStockdale, and he's just a master musician, and you won't see him struggling to hit notes the way that I do. So there you go. Well, we have a couple more song requests. Alexa, how much more time left?
You have 14 minutes left on your 17-minute and 30-second timer.
Okay. So we got plenty of time. We have a couple more song requests here. We've got... let's see here. Okay, this is a beautiful song that was requested by Dallas on the Discord. I'm going to do the best I can. It's a beautiful song written by Michael Nesmith from the Monkees. And but I'm too sick to be able to sing it as beautifully as he does, so I'm going to put it in a different key. And it might not be very good, but it's a beautiful song, so I want to do the best that I can. So, once again, this was requested by Dallas. A song called Joanne. Her name was Joanne, and she lived in the meadow by a pond. There's a hard part there. And she touched me for a moment with a look that spoke to me of her sweet love. Then the woman that she was drove her on with desperation, and I saw as she went a most hopeless situation for Joanne. Time that made them both run. Boy, this is awful. I apologize to Michael Nesmith and to everybody involved. She was only a girl, I know that well, but still I could not see. I might have to stop this and do this another time. That the hold that she had was much stronger than the love she felt for me. But staying in touch with her and my little bit of wisdom broke her down, her desires like a light through a prism, into yellow and blues, a tune I could not. Okay, you know what? This is a beautiful song. I'm not only butchering it, I'm just destroying it and dicing it like it's squirming roadkill, and I'm doing a bad job with it. And so I'm going to stop, and I'm going to wait until I'm not sick, and I'm going to try to do it in the appropriate key. And I'm going to work toward it, and I'm going to try to make it really good, because it's a good song. And I apologize, Dallas. I apologize to the late Michael Nesmith, along with his estate and his family and all the people that were involved in producing that beautiful song. I feel awful. Oh, you know, here's something that we can do. As a lot of you know, I fancy myself as quite the gamer. And my friend Mark Cohen has developed a game for Henry's Kitchen, which is based on a true story. It was a time that I was in my kitchen and I had a problem. I had left a poppy seed muffin out and I had an ant problem. And hold on. So this game is based on that time when I was going around trying to kill ants in my kitchen, and actually after a while, it started. Game Master Flash says, "Wait, Mark Cohen, like your favorite Jew." Mark Cohen and I wrote a song together years ago called "My Favorite Jew," and I think it's out on YouTube somewhere. But he's, in addition to being a fantastic singer-songwriter, he also dabbles in game making, and so we're going to see how that goes right now. So it's called Ant Killer, Henry's Kitchen, and I'll unmute this here. Let's see how we do. So that's me in my kitchen, and what you want to do is you want to try to stomp on the black ants. And if you want to know the URL to play this is markcohen.net/ants. But okay, so I've never been able to get past 50. If you hit the red ants 3 times, then you die. You get 3 lives. It's not as easy as it might look. Some of you have gotten like 200 points, which blows my mind. But I've played this probably for about 200 hours. But they say you're not good at something until you've played it for 10,000 hours. So I have a long way to go.
Help.
This is probably the best game that I've had so far. Oh shit. No, it isn't. I didn't even get to the 50. They start moving a little quicker afterward, but as you can see, some of the high scored. Yeah, Rotary PSI got 222. That blows my mind. M196. Boyo got 195. Rotary PSI 183. Sanus Florida Man 163, 160. More Rotary PSI. Henry's Kitchen got 148. That is not me. I don't know who that is. It's Kate got 144. So It's Kate is pretty badass gamer there. Sanest Florida Man 143. RB, I assume that's roast beef, 141. Luca Tim 137. Forsen 135. So I don't know if that's the Forsen, but that's very impressive. So anyway, that's enough of the game. Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 6 minutes and 50 seconds left on your 17-minute and 30-second timer.
Okay, I'm going to try to do another song here. But I will say I'm not really batting 1,000 when it comes to doing these songs. I don't even really do them very well when I'm not sick, but this is just sort of adding a whole other element of pathos or whatever it is. But I like to try to take your requests. If you want to request songs, the way to do that is to go to the Discord. Can you guys hear me okay? Still? Okay. MTP1213 says, "Wish He'd Shred" by Butthole. Okay. So there you go. All right, so this is a song that was requested on the Discord by well, where is it? Jay Ship. And we did a version of this a while back, but this is the Gary Jules version of the song "Mad World." Jay Ship, and again, I'm gonna try this, but It's going to be one of these fucking high songs that are hard to sing, but... All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. The tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I ever had. I find it hard to tell you, find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday to Knox. Happy birthday. And I feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kinda funny, find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I ever had. Find it hard to tell you, find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very bad world. Bad world. Alright, so that one was a little better because it's in a lower range. Once again, my apologies to the late Michael Nesmith and his family and estate and everybody involved with the production of the song Joanne, which I just butchered like squirming roadkill in the middle of a highway with a chef's knife. Okay, this is, I'm going to put this away. Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on your 17-minute and 30-second timer.
What did it say? Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on your 17-minute and 30-second timer.
There you go. We're just about there. So we have 2 minutes. I'm going to start wrapping up by answering some questions. It looks like there's quite a few. Oh, and it looks like I've missed a couple of people here. Breadworms rated my channel with 50 viewers. Thanks, Breadworms. Thanks for joining us. That was 19 minutes ago. Black Mr. Popo 98 has resubscribed. A up and welcome to Henry's Corner. Thanks. Yabby rated our channel with 117. I think that's where we came in. So thank you guys for all the raids and the cheers and the bits and the gifted tiers and subs and all these things that I wouldn't have known what they meant a year ago, and I still don't really know what all of them mean. Yeah, we got to get a wellness check on roast beef. I'm a little afraid to do this, but we got to make sure he's okay. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, so roast beef is still in the closet, but I think he's kind of waking up now. I did poke at him a little bit, and he sort of jumped up. He'll probably join us before the end of the stream here. Archmage Kale says, was following your recipe, and it turns out I have the wrong ingredient. Any tips on how I can not how I can rot my fresh crabs so they look like yours. Yeah, well, thyme. And I'm not talking about the herb called thyme. I'm talking about real thyme. I left those out the night before until they had a very particular aroma about them. Oh, Alexa, stop timer. Okay, let's see what's happening here. We're going to need a pot holder for this, guys. Take a sip of my coffee. Okay. Interesting. These are by no means as, what would you say, beautiful as, you know, the ones that they have in the picture. I'll show you once again the ones we're going for. But you know, a lot of times those pictures are photoshopped, and they're set up in fancy photographer studios and set decorators, and they cost a lot of money for people, money that we don't have the budget for here. But I think that ours most certainly are going to be as tasty. It almost seems like they kind of turned over while they were in the oven somehow. I'm not sure how that would have happened. But let's go ahead and scoop some of this up here. This is going to be a nice dish that you can serve if you're having a Christmas party. These make great hors d'oeuvres. And they're also just good to have for yourself as a snack if you're watching your favorite Christmas Hallmark movie, or maybe a classic like It's a Wonderful Life. If you're spending Christmas alone with your cat and you want to feel something, if you want to feel like it is Christmas in your world, even though you don't have family or even friends that you can spend it with, this is going to be a nice dish for that. There you go. Well, now for the most important part, how do these taste? I'm going to let them cool down for a second, and I might just put the camera on roast beef here. So yeah, roast beef is showing no interest whatsoever in participating with us today. But I do have a camera set up on him in the closet, I believe on one of my flannel shirts there. He just, you know, he sleeps a lot, and I think that's why he's so healthy. He's just a very healthy person, or cat, or whatever. If I was able to sleep like that, I probably wouldn't have all these ailments that I get. And, you know, maybe he's onto something. Okay, everybody. We made stuffed crab mushrooms today. Easy cheesy. Of course, cheesy because of the cheese that we put into it. And now it's time to taste it. Okay, well, the mushroom's pretty good. Got a little crab in there. But you know what? I think cooking the crab took a little bit of the stench away, and adding the breadcrumbs, which are, I was using an Italian blend, Italian style breadcrumbs, which I think helped us because whatever herbs or whatever were going on in that are diluting the crab taste. There's an old expression, the secret to pollution is dilution. So remember that. The secret to pollution is dilution. So if you have something polluted in your dish, like crab that had been left out too long in room temperature or whatever, you can dilute it either with water or with something else. But you know what? This is going to work. This is lunch. I hope if you guys made it, that yours came out as good as mine. Probably not, because I've been doing this a long time, but, you know. Astral Unicorn says she's in love with the new pollution. That phrase rings familiar to me, and I can't put my finger on it. JK Gee says, I only have magic mushrooms. Would that work? I imagine so. These are called shit take mushrooms, the ones that I'm using, but I think any type of mushroom that you use for this dish is going to be fine. Dank Wordy 11, which ones were yours? Oh, which types of mushrooms? Yeah, these were shit take. Borsenvin mushrooms are best enjoyed crispy. Yeah, these are a little crispy. Once again, let's get a shot. These are our stuffed mushrooms. They're a little out of focus here. Let's focus in. Not bad. Certainly nothing to sneeze at. If we look at our example pic, theirs are a little tighter, obviously. But, you know, and they got a lemon in the background. They're trying to make it look real fancy. Ours might not be pretty, but they also don't taste that great. Something's wrong. Let's see. We had a comment here from, Quanto. Something's wrong. The reference picture and the camera look exactly the same. It must be a technical problem that we can look at later. Okay, so Quanto's telling me that for some reason, the picture here of my mushrooms versus the example pic look identical. So I'm not seeing that on my end, but I think, Quanto, I don't think that's a technical problem. I think that's actually a compliment. I think that we did a very, very good job here of making our dish look pretty much like the professionals. So thanks for that comment, Quanto, and thanks for all the technical help. Layden says, my wife told me she got some crabs from the neighbor. Okay, good. Gonna try to make this dish today. Okay, yeah, if you've got crabs, you should. And on 140, could I use oyster mushrooms instead of crab mushrooms? I would imagine so. Any type of seafood or shellfish or mussels or any of that kind of thing. Well, I'm going to enjoy my lunch here, guys. I want to thank everybody. All the people that rated. All the people that moderated. Thanks always to Nim. And I believe I'm going to collaborate a little bit with Nim for his New Year's. I'm going to send Nim some material for New Year's. He does an extravagant New Year's Eve stream, and that's going to be exciting. I want to thank the Elusive Man for resubscribing for 5 months, Breadworms for rating the channel, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. But generally speaking, I just want to thank everybody. Christmas time's coming. I wasn't feeling good this morning. I'm not feeling good now, but I feel like if I keep trying to survive. Eventually, this cold's going to go away. In the meantime, we're going to keep cooking. So thanks, everybody. And as always, I want to say be good to each other. I hope you have a good coming week. And I just hope that you're enjoying yourself the best you can. Happy birthday, everybody. To all the people whose birthday it is, which statistically it is a few people's birthdays out there, especially Knox, who we said happy birthday to earlier. Thanks, everyone, and I'll be here Wednesday at 11 a.m. To stream again, 11 a.m. Pacific time, PST. All right. Thanks.